Welcome to your Resource Center Reopening Guidance for Students. My name is Eleanor Pay, and I'm the lead credentialed nurse that works alongside two other nurses at Altus schools. And this training has been prepared especially for our students at Adeo Charter School, the Charter School San Diego, Grossmont Secondary School, Marist Secondary School, and Sweetwater Secondary School. The safety committee and myself have been meeting on a regular basis to plan a safe reopening for you at our resource centers. So we are excited to have you back, and we've missed you so much. With that being said, in cooperation with the California Department of Health, the California Department of Education, our local health department, and County Office of Education, please be aware that our school protocol is to ensure a healthy and safe learning environment. So on behalf of Altus Schools, we thank each of you for your understanding and your cooperation. You will be in communication with your teacher in regards to the specific days and times you will be at the Resource Center. Now, I'd like to go over a few important details with you as you arrive to the Resource Center. So, number one, please arrive with your face mask on, and this also is required of the staff members also. A staff member will greet you at the doorway, and a temperature check will be completed. We have a 2-symptom screening check that we would like to make sure that you are symptom-free and haven't been exposed to an individual with COVID symptoms or diagnosed with COVID, and then also applying hand sanitizer upon your entry, and then a staff member will direct you to your designated seating area or your teacher. What is a temperature check? Each student and staff member will have their temperature checked with a contactless thermometer to ensure that one's temperature is no more than 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The main way that we will be checking temperatures at the Resource Center is by using a thermoscan, and that is pictured here on the left side of your slide. Now what this is, it's a tablet that's propped on a stand, and what will happen is when you enter the Resource Center with your mask on, you will stand right in front of it, and there's an outline to where you should stand. And the tablet will flash green if your temperature check and your mask is on and you don't have a fever. It'll light up green. It'll light up yellow if your mask is not on, and that's a reminder for you to put it on really quick. It'll light red when a second temperature check is needed before entry. Now, sometimes a day can be warmer than usual, or you're sitting in a car where the air conditioner is blasting. So this is just to make sure that if an individual has a temperature over 100 degrees, it will need to be rechecked. Now, if that does happen, you can have a seat for about 10 minutes and then have it 5 to 10 minutes and have it rechecked. So we have our thermoscan set at no more than 100 degrees and no less than 96 degrees. So that's a reason why it may turn red. This thermoscan does not record any information as far as your temperatures or anything. It just takes your temperature and then it just gets ready for the next person who enters the Resource Center. Now, I'd like for you to keep in mind 2 important questions that are screening questions before you come into the Resource Center and before entry to the Resource Center. Now, question number 1 is, do you have a new cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, fever, chills, muscle aches, sore throat, new loss of taste or smell, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea? Now I say new because some of you may have chronic asthma or allergies that you are used to having at a certain time of the year. So that is why what we are concerned about is new symptoms of cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, and fever, and so forth. So that's number 1. Question number 2 is also important. We would like to know if you've been in contact with anyone who may have been diagnosed with COVID-19 or presumed symptoms of COVID-19. Now, what that means is a close contact, as far as have you been 6 feet or less with that individual for 15 minutes or more. But we don't expect you to remember those specifics. That's something that we could support your teacher in terms of your concerns if you've been exposed. So these are the two questions for you to remind yourselves before you come in or even upon entering. So after you've taken your temperature, you have your mask on and cleared the two question symptom screening, there will be a hand sanitizer stand that is contactless as well, right next to the thermoscan. So each time you arrive to the Resource Center and after you've done those things, please apply hand sanitizer upon entry, and then a staff member will direct you to your seat or your teacher. Once you've been assigned to your designated seating area, please keep your mask, face covering on while seated and working. Please note the times that you're allowed to briefly remove your face mask is during a quick nutrition break, drinking water, or to adjust. And this is because the state and the county have established these guidelines requiring students and staff to keep their masks on the entire time while at school. We'd like for you to keep in mind about practicing social distancing throughout the Resource Center. So please be mindful of the signage and the 6 feet distancing precautions at all times, even when there is no signage. So I'm hoping that this slide will help you prepare yourself and keep that mental note that 6 feet is about the length of skis, long skis, or the length of 2 shopping carts. And again, to reiterate about social distancing, so if there's a line when you arrive to the Resource Center waiting for you to take your temperature or to use the hand sanitizer stand machine, or if there's a line at the restroom or to speak to your teacher or a staff member, we would really appreciate if you can keep in mind the 6 feet distance from each other. I'd like to answer a question in the event that you happen to not feel well after you arrive to the Resource Center. So if you arrived to the Resource Center and you felt fine, and then all of a sudden 30 minutes or an hour into your appointment time that you start not to feel well, which means you start to develop a cough, shortness of breath, fever, chills, muscle aches, sore throat, new loss of taste or smell, nausea, vomiting, and or diarrhea, please notify your teacher immediately to assist you. He or she can retake your temperature, ask you a few questions about how you're feeling. And then if there are concerns about these symptoms, then your teacher can notify your parent or guardian to pick you up at the Resource Center, and also encourage them to contact your doctor for further instructions. Each of you is so important to the COVID-19 infection control. There have been so many studies that have proven why 20 seconds of hand washing with soap and water has prevented the spread of infection and germs. So what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to click on the arrow to watch this very valuable video, How Soap Kills Coronavirus. Now, before you leave the Resource Center, we would like for you to let your teacher or staff member know that your school laptop and device is left on the table where you were working, so they know which pieces of equipment and device to thoroughly disinfect. And that also includes your workstation area, which is your table, your chair, and also letting them know which other pieces of equipment at the Resource Center that you have used could use a thorough disinfection. Healthy students learn better. Now, what I'd like to review with you is there are days in reality where each individual may struggle with their day-to-day responsibilities or getting through your schoolwork. We're all human, so a very important message alongside with the COVID-19 precautions that I've shared with you is maintaining a balanced lifestyle. So one of the takeaways that I'd like for you to step away from this video is washing your hands frequently for 20 seconds with soap and water. Please do remind yourself and your family members and friends to do that. The social distancing guidelines of 6 feet or more. Avoiding social gatherings. Um, Flu season is coming up, so I really do encourage you and your family members and your friends to get your flu vaccine. Now, circling back to what is a healthy, balanced lifestyle. Above my screen here is the wellness wheel, and that is focusing on your intellectual health, emotional, mental health and well-being, your social health, your future career goals, your spiritual health, and physical health. Now, what that means is the American Pediatrics Association, lots of research behind this. The key to feeling healthy, feeling motivated and focused is getting at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep at night. Eating regularly throughout the day, which means your fruits and your vegetables, your proteins, carbohydrates in moderation. It also includes exercising 30 to 60 minutes a day, or if not every day, then 4 times a week. If you haven't exercised in a while, then maybe starting off with a walk 1 time a week, next week do 2 times a week, and so forth. It is also making sure that you have healthy communication, or do your best to improve your communication with your family, your friends, your teacher. Maintaining that open line of communication just helps de-stress and make sure that you're on the same page, or try to work things out so everyday living is less stressful. We'd also like for you to remind yourselves, well, maybe having short-term goals or long-term goals can keep you motivated. Your safety and your health is just so important to us that we just feel that if you could make this a priority and work on it from day to day, it'll definitely help your days become a little bit better, smoother, and more manageable. On behalf of the administration, the staff, the teachers, and nurses at Altus schools, we would like to thank each and every one of you for making your school and your home environment a safe place to learn. We have prepared a post-test for you to complete and review with your teacher and hopefully get lesson credit for. But please do remember to let your teacher know if you would like to speak to your resource center nurse for more support, if you are experiencing any health concerns that is affecting your academic progress, or even speaking to your teacher about where you stand as far as your schoolwork and your lessons are concerned. I hope that you have gained a lot of information and helpful instructions as far as the precautions that we're taking for a safe reopening for when you do return. We're very excited for you to return to the resource centers. We've missed you so much. We want to help and support you through this time of getting your schoolwork done and progressing towards graduation. We value each one of you as our students, and we would like to just make sure that you are returning to the resource centers safely, healthy, and with ease. So please be safe and stay healthy, and we will see you very soon. Take good care.